Fine, Dexline. Fine. Alright, let's see. I think I have everything ready. The only thing... I should probably share my link with my Discord chat really quick. So, today's stream is going to be 2 hours, and then I'm going to jump over to Twitch and hang out for a little while. So, let's get started once I'm done clicking all the buttons. Alright, cool. No, this is not a sticker by me. I got that sticker ages ago, somewhere in Denver. I am gonna turn it to the blank page. I'm gonna just start in my sketchbook, which I normally don't like to paint with watercolor in my moleskin because I don't like how the paper is finished. But I'm gonna start in here just to warm up a little, and then I have a bunch of pre-cut sheets of Arches paper over here on the side that I'll be using. And of course, the tea. If you can see, this is my new mug. No, I use both sides usually, Dexline. But the problem with streaming in using this sketchbook is that if I want to use the left side, then the right side of the sketchbook then goes over into where I put my water and my paper towel and my mouse and everything, so I can't really use the left side on stream very easily. So that's fine though. This is just gonna be like a quick warm-up anyway, and then we'll be using really nice paper. It'll be much better. Hey, Slave of Hell! Should have gotten food? Yeah. Because I plan on talking about food the entire time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm definitely not gonna do that. Hey Coparka, hey Corvulus, hey Tony, good to see everyone. Guys, I'm so sorry I didn't stream last Friday. I missed last Friday. I was so stressed out. But I'm recovered now, I think, like from the holidays and everything. We'll see. I'm recovered enough to stream today, let's say that. Oh my gosh, there's so much cat hair in my brushes. What the heck? How does it just like float around the room and land on my brushes? Ugh. Jeez. You have some oatmeal? Maybe the brushes like attract the cat hair somehow. Actually, I know Vader crawls or walks across my desk, so that's probably the reason. Let's get these wet. I'm using my little travel set today because I haven't used it in like, I don't know, 2-3 months, and I don't want it to dry out. And also, since I'm probably going to take this one to Jamaica, I want to make sure that I have all the colors I really, really want, and kind of get an idea if I need to like replenish any of them, which I'm probably going to do anyway before I go because I don't want to worry about running out. Just add some water and let it soften up a little bit. Mystery solved. Hope you had a good start to 2020. I can't believe it either. We're in a new decade. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I hope you guys I mean, I talk to most of you in Discord, so, but in case anyone is out there listening who I don't talk to all the time, Happy New Year, and I hope you had a wonderful holiday. and you're inspired and ready for the new year, I am actually really excited and inspired. There's gonna be some hard work in 2020, but I am like so ready. I'm up for the challenge. It's like, let's do this. No more thinking about it. No more talking about doing it. We're gonna do it. Vader hair could make a decent brush. Maybe. It is very, very soft and fluffy, so I'm not sure how that... It would be a very limp brush. I have one of those that I use for inking, like just ink. But it is not my... I don't like using it at all for painting. It has no, like... Vader's hair wouldn't really have any spring to it, I don't think, if it got wet. It's too fluffy. The year of ZCon. Oh my gosh, yes! ZCon Sky! ZCon Sky edition. Hi, studio! Okay, before I start, I think I have something on my glasses, because I keep seeing things. Mysterious things. Oh, there's like fuzz stuck between the lens and the frame. What? How does this even happen? Seriously. Okay. Anyways. I think that might be soft enough. I see dead people. Okay, I also want to use a couple different... one reason I'm doing a glazing experiment, I don't know what I'm calling it, a glazing practice, glazing experiment, is that I have a commission coming up that includes a very pretty sunset sky. Not like dramatic clouds or anything, kind of soft and wispy. And I want to try doing a glazing. I've done it before a few times, but I want to figure out a perfect color combination for it, really. So I'm going to try a few different pinkish purple tones. Let's see. And probably cobalt. Cobalt's really good. And maybe this one. Yeah. Aw, studio, I'm sorry your plans got canceled, but yay that you get to hang out with us. Hey, Holly. That should do. Hello, Laura. Oh my gosh, I just realized I'm gonna make chat bigger. 'Cause blind. There we go. That's so much better. Is music too loud? My OBS shows that it's seems kind of loud, but maybe not. I don't know. I did turn the output down slightly. Okay. Let's put that over there. Actually, I probably won't be using the Daxazine purple because that's, well, maybe. Mint, wait, triple mint tea. Ooh, I have a combination of black and red with some almond milk and a tiny bit of honey. Red violet. I haven't used this color in a while. I haven't used any purples in a while. I took it out of my normal palette a for quite a long time because I used to use it so much. I used to use it to the point where I was just like overusing it, I think, without realizing it. Like dioxazine purple used to be my go-to shadow color, but I would leave it as like pure dioxazine purple, and a lot of times it was just way too much. When I look back at my older stuff, well, when I look back at my older stuff in general, I cringe, but yeah, I took it off my palette for a while because I just wanted to get away from using it all the time. I wanted to like really start being conscious of what colors I'm using. But, oh wait, I don't need more cobalt. I need the sapphire. A candy cane to melt while brewing. Oh my gosh. Pyroline green for shadows. Ooh, that's a nice combination. Yeah, see, the dioxazine purple is really great for shadow color as long as you mix it with something. You're never gonna find pure dioxazine purplish color in nature. So like the fact that I was using it just as like my pure shadow color was a bit just too much. So, ooh, guess what else we're gonna test out today for the first time? We are going to be using the heat tool that I was gifted a few weeks ago. So yeah, gotta plug it in, but when we get there, okay, first I'm gonna do I think I should start with my pinkish tone. These are just going to be little swatches, by the way, and then we'll switch to the nicer paper. But I am considering bringing this sketchbook with me to Jamaica because I like using this for gouache, but I also, like, I don't mind using it for watercolor if it's all I have, but I don't know. I really want to make my own watercolor sketchbook, but I still don't have the bookmaking tools and I can't afford it right now. So I'm kind of just, yeah, thinking I might use what I have. So I might bring this one and the smaller one. I'll just let this soak in. Look very similar. I think it needs to be more red. Yeah, that's a little better. This one is the Potter's Pink. Hey, Steven. Okay. I'm gonna write this down before I forget as well. Which one is which? Violet Rouge, Permanent Mauve, and Potter's Pink. It's also cool to see how different they are in granulation. Like, check it out. Okay, this is Potter's Pink. This is the Permanent Mauve, and that is the red violet, which has like no granulation, but it's such a huge difference compared to these two. Look how smooth it is. I might move my light closer. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Texture of the paper affect the granulation of paints? Well, it'll affect how you see it. So if the paper is really rough or has like a big, big divots or indentations, whatever you want to call the texture, it has like, if it has places for the pigment to settle into, it'll usually be darker in those indentations. Like if you do a comparison on hot press versus cold press of a really granulating color, it's like you can definitely see a difference, but you'll still see some granulation in a hot press paper. Hey, ink. So sometimes a cold press paper can actually be annoying if you have granulating colors and it settles into the cold press texture, and it like you can definitely see a very obvious rough look, right, compared to the smooth one. You can see a little bit on the smooth one, but it's like very obvious on the Potter's Pink, and it might not be a look that you want. Whereas if you use it on a hot press paper, it could have just like a nicer look. The granulation might look nicer. I don't know. It just depends on what you're going for, really. Like, I think the most noticeable place in a landscape is the sky. So if you use granulating colors in your sky and your paper is really rough, really textured, it'll be so obvious. That might be something you want, or it might be something that is way too distracting and kind of ruins the painting. So I think you just need to experiment with whatever colors and papers you have, which is, again, why I love doing so many swatch sheets. Did you change your schedule? Can't keep up? No, I mean, I know, wow, I can English. I know it's different than it used to be, but I haven't changed it since I made the change to streaming on YouTube. Does that make sense? Like, I stream every Monday on Twitch and every Friday on YouTube. I've only missed one Friday on YouTube so far. You're hunting for maximum granulation. Action hero type voice. Yeah, there are some amazing granulation, amazing granulating colors, and you can add your own. You can buy additives and drop it into your paint and like kind of mix it up a little bit and make it really crazy. You thought it was Monday. What? Actually, I woke up thinking it was Monday as well, because this week totally threw me off. We had 2 days off in the middle of the week, and I kept thinking that was the weekend, and then coming back to work today is usually like a Monday feeling. So yeah, I definitely get you, Ink. Reprintable swatch sheets were so useful to me. I hate drawing them and really glad I didn't have to do that myself. Corvulas, that's amazing to hear. That's awesome. I'm so glad someone is getting good use out of them. I have plans to make more different styles, including long strips of them. So yeah, that's encouraging, knowing that they're actually being used. Okay. That's probably good enough. Actually, no. Let's test out the heat tool. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Actually, oh my gosh, sorry I hit the mic. I'll move my tea so I don't spill it. Slave of Hell is gonna say rip ears. Time to move on. Okay. I actually don't know how loud this is, so I'm gonna turn it on with the mic muted for a second. And then I'll see. Okay, it is quite loud. Let me move the mic away a little bit so you guys just get a hint of what it sounds like. Is that way too loud for the mic to be on? It's not as bad as my hairdryer, but it's definitely got noise. Let me know though. The only problem is that I sometimes, when I mute the mic while I'm doing stuff like this, I always forget that I mute the mic and I'm like talking and everyone's like, Sarah, you're muted. Can't really judge. Try it out. All right, we'll just go for it. I don't need to have it on for very long. It. It was almost dry. I just wanted to make sure. The problem with this Moleskine watercolor sketchbook paper is something to do with the sizing. It makes it really difficult to glaze. So if you have any amount of moisture in your paint still and you put another layer on top of it, it usually, in my experience, will pick up a lot of the under layer. So this feels dry. So yeah, I feel like we'll get better results if we do this. Hi Kira! Vacuum cleaner ASMR. Is that a thing? Wow, I never really thought about that, but I think that white noise, as long as it isn't too loud, could actually be kind of relaxing. Drilling bones and wood. Oh. Okay. Let's do a stripe of blue now. Start it at the top and fade it down. Of course, there's a piece of cat hair in there. Also, I don't really want to use Rose Opera, but I'm gonna try it just to see how it looks. And returned from hunting food. How did it go? Nickel Azo Yellow. I'll do like a smaller version of these at the bottom. And then, see how, this is just a thing with the moleskin paper, but see how it dries with kind of a hard edge? In my experience, it doesn't really let the pigment or the water like seep into the paper very much, so it tends to like sit on top, which usually leads to like those hard edges. So if you don't want those, you have to make sure you like fill in the whole rest of it with water and make sure you don't get any hard edges, get all the soft edges. But yeah, it's just really, it's so finicky. There's so many better papers out there. But they're really convenient. They're nice and sturdy. They're pretty cheap depending where you buy them, and they actually work really great for gouache. So that's the main reason that I still use them. Okay. Thank you, Slave, for answering. You like YouTube motor mouth Sarah mode? Oh my goodness. Are people actually watching in 2x speed? That would be funny. I actually have done that on Skillshare. There was one class I was watching, and the person talked so slow, and I was like, oh my god, just get to the point. So I started watching in 2x speed, and I kind of forgot to turn it off, so every time a new lesson would pop up, it would just stay that way. And sometimes it'd be really weird, but if they talk slow enough, it's not horrible. It's not too bad. It's not horrible. But yeah. So if I talk really fast and then you watch it in 2x speed, it's gonna sound really crazy? Alright. We're gonna dry this one. I can mute it, guys. That's why I asked you. But you said it wasn't that bad. But if just let me know, I can mute it. I mean, obviously I need to remember not to paint over the yellow with blue, because that gives you green. You often adjust the speed on YouTube. Huh, okay. No, don't mute it. Okay. That's why I'm here? Wait, what? You're here for the... You're here for the hairdryer? Okay, I think I'm gonna set this notebook aside now, and we're gonna use some nice paper. Well, I'll leave it open so that it can dry. So this morning I cut down one of my old Arches paper blocks that was the seams, like where they all, you know how in a paper block all the seams on one side like that, they are stuck together, and it's nice and convenient because you don't have to like tape it down. It won't warp at all. Well, I had this block of 18 by 24 inch arches sitting around for ages, like over a year, and it's got like stains on the edge because I used a lot of pigment one time, and it seeped down, and since the seams were breaking, it like got into a lot of the other pages. So it's kind of like a throwaway. It was like a throwaway block that I had, unfortunately, because like for a long time I was like, I don't know what I'm ever gonna do with it. But then I remembered I can just cut it down and use it for practice stuff and swatch sheets, which I do a lot. So like, see, a lot of them have it really bad. There's a really bad one somewhere. Sometimes some of it is on the back and some of it is on the front. So, but anyway, we're gonna be using them. No waste. Oh, also the backboard fell off of it like halfway through using it, which was so annoying because whenever you're like setting it on a desk or putting it on an easel especially, like it was all floppy and it just was so annoying to use that I stopped using it and it felt like a waste. You often speed it up when you can too? Really? I didn't know so many people did that. You didn't know what a paper block is, much less where the seam is. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a really convenient way of using watercolor paper, so. Yeah, I uploaded a little time lapse of me cutting all the paper on Instagram today because it's one of those things that it's like, I think it's obvious, but maybe not. And I decided this year I want to share more like artist tips, I guess I'll call it, on Instagram or on different platforms. Just in case there's someone out there that might benefit from it. 2 steps and 2 times speed. Oh my god. That would just be ultra intense. Wait, why is Laura feeling mobbed? What happened, Laura? Alright, so let's do... Maybe I'll just do like a mini version of this painting. It's gonna be a bigger painting, the commission I was mentioning. But I don't know which what my layering technique is yet, what it's gonna be yet. I think I'm gonna start with my yellow going up into pinks, which are the wispy clouds, and then do, actually no. Oh my god, how do I do this? Okay, I'm gonna do a blue down to a yellow, or orangish, and then I'm going to touch it, and then do a glaze of the pinkish purple clouds on top. And then I'll do another version where I do a yellowish orange gradient up to a bluish one. And while that's drying, I'll touch in some of the pink purple wispy clouds. And then come back in with a final layer of whichever color I think I need. So I'll try like 2 different glazing techniques with this scene. And just for practice, I'm using one of my photos that I shared on my Patreon reference photo pack. I think it was this month. I did a sunset one this month. The bot is not active. That bot just thinks it's still on break. Whenever I type Nightbot into my browser, I always type Nightybot. They were telling lies about my hairdryer and my talking. Don't want people to leave because of that. Oh, Laura, no. You know from being in my chat that they love to torture you any chance they get. So they'll always tease you and try to like ruffle your feathers. Okay, it should... Wait, join channel. I shouldn't have to redo that. Uh-oh. Giveaways. No, commands, custom. Oh crap, I signed into the wrong thing. I accidentally added it to my Twitch channel. Log out. Sign in with YouTube. Okay. Yes. I have to somehow give it permission every once in a while. I don't know why. It should work now. Hopefully. Pro streamer. There's always one thing that goes wrong in every stream. It's just my horizon. There's gonna be like trees and stuff popping up, but they're silhouettes, so I don't even know why I'm drawing this, but yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna set this aside for now and just use this. Do I want to use this color? It's pretty bright. Maybe I want to use indigo. Or like a combination of indigo and that one. So that's a little better. So the first one we will let, well, okay, we'll let this dry while we do the other one. And then can you see it? Okay. Also, I just realized if I don't want that to bloom, I need to remove some of that excess. Who are we reporting? You should. Don't you hate not being able to use the Twitch emote? Oh, by the way, so I mentioned today's stream is going to be 2 hours. Then we're going to jump over to Twitch, which I'm kind of testing that out to see if it goes okay, if it's something you guys prefer. Because I kind of feel like not a lot of people want to watch more than a 2-hour video on YouTube. So having my replays, my live replays be more than 2 hours is like majorly overkill. So yeah, let's try that out today and see how it goes. I don't know, is that, what do you guys think about that? Do you ever watch videos on YouTube that are longer than 2 hours? Besides a paint along or something? We'll jump to Twitch. Yeah, we'll jump right over. I'll post the link in chat later. Better get everything done in 2 hours. No pressure. I don't even, I mean, today I'm just experimenting with glazing, so it's not like I'm doing a finished piece that needs to get framed or something. I fully intend on messing up today in front of everyone. How's that? This time it's gonna fade down into a orangish glow, or no, a pink one, and then a little bit of yellow at the horizon. But it's kind of too subtle. I think I need to do more color next time. This one faded okay, but it's still too separated. But it's really hard to fade from a blue to a yellow without making green. So I kind of feel like this strategy might work better because it's blue to the pink to the yellow and there's not really any worry about mixing green. You can't watch videos longer than 20 minutes? Really? For you, it's no problem. Long videos are more informative, so I can watch them when in the mood of actually learning. Okay. I'm sure there are some out there that do watch longer videos. I watch longer videos, but I don't think I'm a typical YouTube viewer, because I can go into my stats right now and see what the average length of my viewers are, or wait, the average the average viewer watch time. Don't take that out of context. Which is kind of fascinating. Like you can even go in and find out like exactly when they stop watching videos. I've never really gone into that much detail. But yeah, it's interesting. You love long videos for company? That's exactly why I do it, Studio. Average view duration, 6 minutes and 58 seconds. Okay? That is in the last 28 days, but I could also do the lifetime of my Twitch channel. The average watch time, average view duration for my channel over the last, well, since August 2nd, 2012, is 6 minutes and 18 seconds. That is like nothing. Most of my videos nowadays are like 10 to 20 minutes, I feel like. So, yeah. A lot of people don't even watch half of what is out there. Which is fine. There are some people that do, and that's why I make them. Those are the people that I think about. You're a long troll. The short viewer who watches the longest videos. Okay. So the final one is going to be the wet into wet with a final glazing layer later. So we'll put those down there for now. Let them dry a little. I actually really don't like this flat brush. I don't know if I want to use it. It doesn't hold enough pigment. I want to use my big tuna. covered in cat hair. How the YouTube algorithm deals with people who watch a video multiple times. I don't know. I think it just counts as a new view. But I don't know. I do watch certain videos multiple times as well. I watch a lot of ASMR to help fall asleep at night, and some of my saved ASMR videos I've watched like hundreds of times. But like there are a few painting videos that I have that I like to rewatch. James Gurney, he does kind of shorter videos, but obviously most people know how amazing he is, and I usually rewatch his videos like 3 or 4 times because he is so concise. The videos are so concise, and there's like so much to learn from watching him layer things and how where he places things, and like yeah, I have to watch them multiple times to like really absorb it. Plus they're always good videos, they're always fun. Alright. I didn't bother drawing the horizon line on this one because oh gosh dang it, I ruined this one. I just put too much streaking yellow in it. Might be able to resolve it, we'll see. No. Too muddy. But I will continue to practice with it. Continue to Hey Carolyn. Which videos you're talking about? The ones I was just referring to are the James Gurney videos. We were talking about how long we typically watch videos for. And if we rewatch videos, and I rewatch certain painting videos like his. There's a few. Andrew Tischler, I watch his videos more than once. They're amazing. Happy New Year, yes! Yeah, I decided to try out a new format for my YouTube streams where I'll do 2 hours on YouTube so that the replay is only 2 hours, because like I don't think most people are gonna watch 2 hours unless you're trying to learn something specific. And then we'll jump over to Twitch for a little, I don't know, however long we feel like. You purchase videos? Oh, like outside of YouTube, yeah. Well, I looked up my average viewer watch time just now, and it's 6 minutes something. So, you know, like a lot of us tend to watch videos more than once, or we watch longer videos, but I don't think that's the average person out there. So, you know, we'll see. Okay. Set that aside to dry. Let's bring back the first one. Just pretty much dry. What was my strategy for this one? I completely forgot. Oh, doing... I think for the first two, I was just going to do the same thing, but with a different background. So this one will be adding the pinkish orange clouds on top, fading up into like a purple. This is 9 by 12, pretty much. It's a little bit off because I actually have a giant stack that I cut down earlier from my 18 by 24 paper block that was kind of not doing so well. It was like falling apart. So these are slightly off, but they are also like some of them have... Another reason why it wasn't a good paper block anymore is because one of the layers I did on a recent painting like seeped down between them because the seams were coming apart. So I have all that fun stuff to deal with. Most of it's on the back, but there are a few that are on the front, and you know, I'm not going to use those for like finished paintings. So they're awesome for practice. And as you guys know, brush mileage is so important with watercolor, so if you like, the more repetition you can do, the better. And I definitely need lots of warm-up and practice when I'm doing cloud scenes. I feel like I get really out of it when it comes to clouds. Like I have to relearn it almost every time. Not completely, but you know what I mean? Or is that just me? To the university. You can, yeah, but a lot of it is on both sides. Like this is the front and it has it on there. It has it on the front and the back. So you can turn it over, but on the paper blocks, I've noticed that the texture is different on either side, and I don't know if they finish the paper the same. Like if I'm not sure like what is going on the back side in terms of sizing or like, yeah, finish, but the texture is definitely different, so there is a difference. If I was gonna make my own sketchbook out of arches, I probably would I wouldn't care, I would paint on the back of my pages, but for like finished work or commissions or whatever, I would always only use the front. Of course you needed an answer. I know you're a serious painter, slave of hell. I know that you are painting right now, and every single comment and question is very serious. Dennis, good morning. How are you? I really enjoyed your recent post, your recent video, the beach painting, and it made me like so, I can't even say homesick because I never grew up near a beach, but I miss the sun. I miss the Colorado weather. And I mean, I grew up in upstate New York near the Finger Lakes, so I did spend quite a lot of time at a beach growing up. But yeah, it was just a really nice video to watch. I watched it this morning with my coffee. So thank you for making that video. Oh, and if you guys don't know Dennis, you should go check him out. He does plein air painting, and he's very inspirational. Has really good videos with like awesome drone shots of where he is. You're having coffee thinking about painting waves. Painting waves is so relaxing. I love it. I kind of got obsessed with it recently again, like in my gouache sketchbook that I just finished. I have so many wave paintings. It's like, oh, I can't just do wave paintings. I have to like change it up. Okay, so this technique could work. I think this could work. Or this method, this glazing method. So having like the blue yellow gradient already on the page and then painting on top. I can't really get like a neon pink tone unless I save those areas from the beginning of the painting, but I still think it has like a nice pop of color for the sunset, so that could work. But this one might be the winner in terms, like if I come back in and do this third, or the second layer, the second glaze, but we'll see. Another YouTube channel to follow, yes! Just sludge from your freezer. 55, oh, let's see, we have 5 degrees Celsius. But it's been hovering between like 1 and 4 lately. Randomly we get like a slightly warmer day. Okay, we'll let that one dry and try it with this one, which has the blue to pink to yellow, which I actually feel like I want to do another. Let's do another layer. Let's do another glaze over this so that it's slightly more, it's not so much blue, basically. Or do I want that much blue? I don't know. Yeah, we've had really crazy weather lately. Like all day, my window has been covered in rain. But right like across the street, it's sunny. So I don't know. It's actually a really pretty sunset. We might get some nice color tonight. All I know is that I'm very happy that we are getting longer days, more daylight. That is ideal. That is crucial. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm gonna do one more background because I think for this one, I'm gonna try to do a similar thing that I just did with the clouds, and then I'll do another one that I can do a whole new glaze on top of. I feel like the things I'm saying make no sense, so I'm just gonna do them. Like, I know what I'm doing in my head. No one else knows. It's fine. This one is much less blue. And just FYI, when I'm doing skies like this, depending on if you have a paper block is much easier to do this with, but if you don't, you can still hold the paper. All I do is I start the layer kind of flat and then I tilt it up while I do the remaining colors until I get to the horizon line so that it fades into itself. Otherwise you can end up with like streakiness, which is probably not what you want, maybe, but I'm guessing it's not in a sky. Hey Robert, how's it going? Spent much time in Ireland? Only a week. I've only been to Ireland once for a week and it was amazing. Why, do you ask? You were very depressed yesterday, went for a walk, stood in the sun for a few minutes. It really helped. Oh, Corvulus, I know the feeling. It, like when it's days like this where it's nasty out but I can still see the sun in the distance, I'll just stand in the window and like soak up the residual rays. But it's always better to go out if you can. Okay, so we'll let that one dry and go back to this one, which is definitely dry. And we'll do let's see. Okay, so I think on this one I'm going to go from the orangish yellow up to just pink. And then maybe a third glazing layer of purple in some of the shadows later. You've been doing ancestry. Your family is from an area around Waterford. One day you'll get there. Yes, you definitely will. It was... I never thought I would go to Ireland before other places on my bucket list, but the opportunity came up. My friend wanted to go for her birthday, and her parents are pilots, so they got us a discount on flights, and we decided we would all go and just, her parents would rent a car, so my friend and I were just like in the backseat viewing all the beautiful scenery as we were driving around, which was amazing because we didn't have to drive. And we saved money by using Airbnb, and we would like stop at all these little local farms along the way and buy like fresh apples and cheeses and just eat whatever was local basically. And we saved so much money, and it was also amazing. Like, so delicious. Favorite area was definitely the West Coast. That was like my whole reason for wanting to go, was to go to the Cliffs of Moher, which are the huge jutting like rock stacks that come out of the ocean. It's super famous. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And like standing on the edge of that was so awe-inspiring. It was the first time I'd ever been anywhere like that in my life. I think it was the first time I saw the ocean. No, I saw the ocean when I was younger. Or when I saw the ocean in Maine, but definitely the first time I saw any kind of like cliffs and stuff coming out of the ocean. And yeah, just the green rolling hills. We drove from Dublin to the West Coast, kind of like stopping here and there, staying a couple nights here and there, and then back. So it was pretty fast pretty fast trip, and yet it still felt relaxed because we were kind of just going with the flow. Like, we only had one place booked before we got there to stay in, and then the rest we just figured out along the way, which was awesome because we got like good advice from locals. So if you can travel like that, I personally think it's much more enjoyable. It is making it very dramatic. I know, this playlist is so weird. It's the ambient station on Pretzel Rock Radio, which is copyright free. The last time I streamed on YouTube, when I ended my stream, I got a little email that was like, hey, you have a copyright strike on your recent video. And I was like, all I was listening to, I think, was the Chill Hop radio station, which is live. So apparently one of the songs they played was copyrighted and, you know, whatever. So I was like, all right, it's not a big deal because my channel isn't monetized, but I don't want to get like lots of copyright strikes. The Dingle Peninsula is so beautiful. Oh. Also, hi, Woosie. Oh, question for you, Dennis, if you're still there. Do you watch videos that are longer than 2 hours on YouTube? Or anyone listening who missed the conversation earlier? Okay. Demo in under 40 minutes. I know, right? The faster the better. But it depends on the topic. Like, if something can be done in 10 minutes, then why not do it in 10 minutes? If it takes 2 hours, it takes 2 hours. But like, if you want real time versus time lapse is I think the main difference, because I personally prefer real time, but some people only like time lapse. Sorry, it's Wolfie. Hey, I'm streaming. But what? Sorry, guys. Those strokes are confident. Thanks, Poor Flower. It's more like I have a just go for it mentality when it comes to painting. I don't ever want to be like super precious with what I'm doing if it's experimentation especially. So there are definitely times when I'm painting and I have to be very careful so I don't mess the whole thing up. So yeah, don't get me wrong, I do that sometimes, but today is all about trying out different glazing techniques and stuff. So just jump right in, jump into the deep end. This is the one I did earlier, which was the wet into wet. And now I'm gonna come back in with a shadow tone and try to do the shadow side of the clouds, which this one will be a little bit more, take a little more time, I think. But we'll see. Use YouTube for like YouTube for 5 minutes. Okay. You start to advance to parts that interest me. I've done that too. Yeah, Carolyn. But like if I'm learning a technique, I really like watching real time versus time lapse. And I especially love watching real time drawing videos. I can watch a video that's like 8 hours long. If it's a real time drawing video, I might be doing something on the side, like working on my own stuff. So I'm not watching like diligently the entire time, but I love watching people draw, especially if they're really good at it. It's just mesmerizing to me. So one streamer, not streamer, well, she does stream, but one YouTuber that I really, really love, who most of you guys probably already know, is Juicy Ink. And she does a really wonderful job of making pretty, in my opinion, they're pretty short, but some people might call them long videos, combining drawing and painting. And she shows it in real time, but she kind of like splices it together so it doesn't take, 5 years to watch it. So if anyone, she just has really good angles and really good lighting. She definitely knows what she's doing. So if anyone wants to watch something like that, you should go check her out. Her name is Tori. She does, I don't think she's been streaming recently, but, or posting too much anyway. Alright, so this will be the shadow side. So it's a purple. Yeah, Juicy Ink. It'll be obvious when you find her because she's got a lot of followers. And watercolor is the main thing that she does. So she also does a lot of marker drawing. She does mixed media, but like her marker videos are fascinating to me. I love watching her marker videos. That is like straight up witchcraft to me. I've been trying to get into markers again because I bought some so long ago that I barely used, and I find them to be really fun for me personally, if I just kind of let go and I'm okay with being messy, but because I don't know how to get them to blend well. Like I never figured out how to do a nice smooth gradient, and I'm told that it also has to do with the paper and the type of marker that they are, because some of them don't actually allow you to get like smooth blends. But I've been playing with them more to try, because I feel like they're really good for quick landscape studies. So if you're out and about and you don't want to like pull out your painting kit, you want to draw, but you also want to add some color. Markers are such a quick and mess-free way of doing that. Juicy Ink is your favorite too? Her improvement through the years has been drastic. It's because she works her butt off. She is always practicing, and it shows. Like, I have loved watching her progress over the last few years, and especially since she did her, as she calls it, sabbatical. She took some time off to really focus on improving certain skills, and like her work is just beautiful. It always has been, but I think like now it's just like so incredible. Her figures and portraiture and stuff. Like, oh, it's so good. So this is definitely more of like a bold look for the clouds. Having that hard edge visible with the soft, like underneath the cloud is soft and the top is hard edged. Oh god. No. I got some like turquoise in there somehow. Where did that even come from? What the heck? Sabotage. Well, I picked up, so that's okay, but man, that is not something you want to happen. That has happened to me while doing a big painting before. Like everything's going fine, it's looking good, has a big nice gradient in the sky, and all of a sudden there's like this tiny random streak of red or something completely obnoxious. So it must have been on the edge of, usually it's gouache, and it must have been on like the edge of my water bucket or maybe my palette or something. Oh, that is just awful though. All right. So definitely dramatic. Maybe too dramatic, who knows? I'm gonna compare all these later. And I might decide I want just a totally wet into wet look and not do anything. Maybe we'll do one of those too. Happy accidents. No, it's not happy. It sucks. Because in those cases I have to start over. Let's get the full effect. Let's do a... Yeah, happens. It happens. And you try to learn from it. But basically it just reminds me I need to keep my palette and my water bucket clean, which I tend to slack off doing. Has anybody been working on a New Year's resolution that they are really excited about? Art by B. I don't, it doesn't ring a bell, but I mean, I may have seen their work. Ten more sequins than last year. More painting and more selling of my paintings. Yes, Tammy! Alright, we'll just set that one aside for now. And which one did I... Oh, this one. I love how that gradient came out. This one is super soft. Started to write down things for your planned business, things I gotta need. Slave of Hell, that is so exciting. Oh my gosh. I'm really happy for you, really excited for you. 26 books. So you already finished the first one and it's only day 3, Corvulus. Do you have a book list or are you just kind of going with the flow? Man, that's such a good goal. I haven't read, like, finished anything in a year, probably. I completely stopped reading before I went to bed. These days, I just work until I'm completely exhausted and then immediately pass out. I used to have so much trouble falling asleep, and I would be able to read tons of books because I would read before bed to kind of calm myself down and help myself fall asleep. But the problem with doing that is sometimes you get a book that you absolutely love and you can't stop reading, and then it's like 3 a.m. before you know it, and you're like still turning the pages like, just one more. Five pages book. A Goodreads account, and they have a challenge. Oh, that's really cool. The one you finished had 250. Wait. Oh, the book you finished had 250. I was like, you read 250 books in a challenge? Beautiful landscapes and galaxies. Our account's gone hiatus since last year. Aw. It's only been 3 days though. Give her a break. Let her catch her breath after the new year. I love galaxy paintings. Open a painting studio and learning space. Oh my gosh, Carolyn, that would be incredible. You have the capabilities to do that? Or is it like something you've been planning for a really long time, or are you just thinking of maybe doing it in the future? That is like my ultimate goal. I want to have a studio and a teaching space. And I figure by the time I get to that point in my life, I will be a million times better than I am now. So I'll feel much more confident in teaching. Because right now I'm like, I have total imposter syndrome when it comes to teaching. I do the online paint-alongs, but it's like literally just me telling you how I do things. And if someone wants to know how I do things, they show up. But yeah, it's I have to get good if I really want to do that. Although I would love to teach a plein air painting workshop, because that's how I first kind of fell in love with painting, was painting, or especially watercolor. But doing like a watercolor plein air class where it just gets people out of their own way because a lot of times when you're starting out, you're just scared to start. And so like showing up at a workshop, getting some good tips for how to get into it, and like repeatable strategies that you can use on your own, I feel like is so valuable. And I know I can do that, at least. It's like, even just from my own experience. Your project list is due it tomorrow. Yeah, Carolyn, I feel like that would be like your whole life. Like it would have to take up all your time. If you're a million times better than you already are, you might get a plane and attend. Oh, Gino. Meant about ARPY was last year. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're saying it's been a year since they've been doing things, posting things. Yeah. I mean, a studio is one thing. If it's your studio, you do it whenever you want. It doesn't, like, no one knows if you're not painting in there, right? It's your studio. But if it's also a teaching space, a learning space, and the public or, you know, people who are into the classes start to rely on it, and either you or someone else is using it to teach, then I feel like that's the part that would take up so much time, because you'd have to manage the teachers, you'd have to manage the class, make sure those facilities is doing well, probably handle scheduling, I'm assuming, if you're getting multiple people in there. So I could definitely see that taking up like a huge chunk of time, in addition to your own painting. But it could be incredible, and it could be like a huge motivation for you to work and to get, I don't know, like make new contacts and just like really fall in love with the whole thing. If you're feeling burned out though, like, you know, you can't really just stop suddenly, right? So it would be scary if you're in this situation, and maybe if you have some help so it's not all on your shoulders. All right. Sorry, I got kind of zoned out there. Let me catch up. Let that dry for a second. Your studio, class space, everything else. That would be, yeah, that would be amazing. When you open your own school. Anyone want to sign up for programming school? I want to say yes, but I know I won't do it. I like to travel, so you'd have to find a balance. You could travel and do it if you like schedule far enough ahead, though. Hi, May. How are you? Good morning. Happy Friday. Today I am doing some experiments with glazing with watercolor, which means basically multiple layers on top of each other. So right now I'm kind of doing two layers, and then a couple of them are gonna have 3. But this one and this one, the main difference between a lot of these are the color choices and the like how I did the gradient in the background, and what's on top of it. And by the way, these are sunset skies, which I know they're really really sketchy, but it's fine because we're experimenting. So I am kind of realizing that I like it when it's obvious that you have the gradient in the background, but then the second layer has its own gradient or its own mixture of colors. So as long as I make sure I maintain that, I think I'll be happy. This one is one that I did. The background was like a wet into wet sky, and then I came back when it was dry and I did a second layer on top as like the shadow side of the cloud, which was the top part of the cloud, which it has more of a hard edge, which I kind of like too, but I would have to like really do a proper version of it to know if I like it, because this is super sketchy. Also, I don't know if I want to use so much pink. I feel like I want to lean more towards I don't know, maybe just like a hint of the pink. Like this one has a good amount. It's not too much. I don't know if the stream is showing it very well. So sketchy. Where would the school be? Carolyn, isn't Carolyn in why do I want to say North Dakota? No. North Carolina. I can geography. Okay guys, it's 3:30, which means in a half an hour we are going to jump over to Twitch to continue the stream, and then you get to spam all the Twitch emotes. I know your fingers are itching for that. We're literally gonna jump. We're gonna stand up and jump, and suddenly we'll be on Twitch. It's gonna be great. Great light and windows. Ooh. So I see that you've already like went and scouted out some. Oh, thanks, Hans. Yes, feel free to rewatch it. Excuse me. As I said, today's stream will be 2 hours, so that hopefully it's not too much for anybody who's watching the replay. All right, we'll do another of the wet into wet so that I can try a different color combination. And by the way, the next paint along is next week. So wait, hold on. Yes, next weekend. On January 11th, Saturday. Back here, it'll be 6 p.m., which is in the UK, so you might have to look at your time zone. It will be watercolor. We haven't chose the theme yet, but it's definitely going to be watercolor. Probably like expressive landscapes, and I'll choose a specific scene before we start. Yes, watercolors. Oh my gosh, my water is so dirty. I'm trying to pick up yellow and it's like really muddy yellow. Naughty, naughty. The nickel azo yellow is definitely pretty aggressive, like it spreads really fast. So holding it up like this is kind of necessary so it doesn't spread like back up into my upper colors. You want to drag a certain fiend there? Okay. Alright, so this will take a minute to dry, but I can help speed it up with my nifty little heat gun. You want to paint along, but you're too afraid because neither of your supplies are good. Watercolor is okay, but paper not so much. Oh, yeah, that is one of the really frustrating parts about watercolor is the paper does make such a difference. I mean, I wish I could just send you like, you know, actually sometimes you can get really good deals on sample sheets that you could cut down if you need to. So like if you look on Jackson Art, or depending where you are in the world, like over here we can use Ken Bromley. I like Jackson's a lot too, but if you go into their sample paper or just look up watercolor paper sample on their site, usually you can get different sizes. Some of them are pretty big and you can just cut them down to whatever you need, and they're pretty cheap. I think the only thing is they limit how much you can order, so it's not like you're cheating the system and just always ordering sample paper. Carolyn, have a good day. Thank you so much. Happy New Year. We will talk to you soon. All right, I'm gonna move the mic away so I can do the heat gun. Hi, Itchy. You probably could, but you might burn yourself easier because there's no like guard on it. If you put something right next to it, it's crazy hot. Could I use it to dry your hair? Well, like I said, just be careful. I wouldn't risk it. It is quite powerful though, so you know. Wait, I'm such an idiot. I said that this one was gonna be the wet into wet version. Dang it. Okay. Okay, we'll do one more with the layers, with the glazing, and then we'll do the wet into wet. Oh, God. Okay, but this time I need like a clean palette for my blue, because my blue keeps getting like mixed with everything and getting all muddy. Not like this. Ugh, seriously. It's one of those days, okay? I am exhausted. I am not thinking straight. It's Friday. Okay, do I want to do cobalt or sapphire? We'll do these two. This will be a dramatic one. You guys want to get crazy? We're about to get crazy. This is going to be a very high saturated, dramatic sky. I'm pulling out the big guns. This is Cad Yellow Orange, which is slightly opaque and very, very bright, like neon orange. But the cool thing is that it is also kind of aggressive, and because it's opaque, if you use it with dark colors, it's more prominent. It's like slamming open the door like, hey, I'm here. It's me. I'm the star of the show. So we have... Wait, which one did I just do there? Is that the cobalt? No, that's the Daxazine purple. Is that a bandana? It's one of those neck warmer things. But it also can be a bandana. It has little foxes on it. Okay, are you ready? Let's get crazy. Okay, so what I will do first is lay down just like a really thin wash of water so that I can maintain a very smooth flow. Let it soak in. Don't want it to be like running though. Yes, exactly, Jared. But if it's watercolor and you're using it in wet watercolor, it can also, depending on how it's made, if it has like oxgall in it or something else, it could be aggressive and spread a lot. So not only is it opaque, but it's pushing all the other pigment out of the way, so it's gonna be even brighter or like that much more noticeable. A live stream and now I'm late. Oh no, Sacred. Yeah, today's stream is going to last until 4, so 20 minutes from now, and then we're gonna jump over to Twitch and stream some more. So the replay will only be 2 hours here on YouTube, but if you want to still hang out with me, just come over to my Twitch channel. I'm not sure how long we'll be over there, but yeah. Oh god, no! Okay, it's happening. Whether I like it or not, it's happening. Oh my god. I wasn't ready. Not like this. Then I need to be somewhere else. Where are you going at 9 p.m., young man? I did not approve this. Right. I wish the stream showed this better. It's I don't know if it's showing it as vibrant as it is in real life. Okay, so, like I said, this is the slightly opaque orange, and it's also pretty aggressive. Like, it's, maybe I should say it's heavy. I'm not exactly sure what it is about it, but it definitely pushes other paint out of its way. So even if I put a darker color down first, and then I put this one on top of it, it makes itself known. Like, we can even try it out up here. And if I add in a little of the nickel azo yellow, it'll be even more so, because the nickel azo yellow definitely has some kind of like, I guess I don't know if I would call it oxgall, or I don't know what they put in it, but it spreads a lot. So you can see even in that darker background, it's showing up pretty bright. Ah! My god, I am like just throwing stuff everywhere. By the way, I'm kind of doing the streaks as a test to see how much it spreads, because sometimes if I do wet into wet, I end up with just like one giant gradient. But if I do streaks like this, it kind of shows me how much the pigment is spreading and flowing, and by the time it's dry, how soft it becomes, because each pigment's different. So if I'm going to use this for like a big sky, I want to be sure I know how much each color is going to do that. If it's going to soften up to the point where you can't even see anything left, which has happened to me many, many times. Who are you calling young? Wait. Elaborate on what you just said about pushing the other pigment out of the way. Excuse me. Well, so if you imagine the paper is the flat plane, right? And you put pigment on top of it. Not all the pigment and water soaks into the paper right away. So it's kind of sitting on the top of the paper. So my right hand is the pigment, okay? And it's kind of like flowing across the paper. And eventually it will sink in and settle and become permanent. But when it's wet, it's still kind of flowing on top of the paper. And if you put another pigment on that has certain properties, like they added oxgall or granulating solution, or whatever, there's like a number of things you can add to them. So the oxgall, for instance, makes it spread quite fast. It kind of like, I think, increases the viscosity. Is that the word for it? So it's very slippery almost, maybe I would say. So if it's on that paper, it's kind of going instead of just like slowly spreading. And if you put two pigments next to each other, and one has like that property which makes it spread, it'll push into all the other pigments and kind of like take over the area. So knowing what is in the pigments, or at least using them enough so you're used to what they do, is super useful, especially when you're doing bigger areas like this. If this is going to be a sky, I would definitely want to know what my pigments are going to do before I put them on the paper, which is why we experiment. Did that make sense, or was that just complete rambling, and was I talking to myself? Twitch is set up on the phone. Yay! Cool. Mods, if you can grab my Twitch link and put it in chat before we go, that would be awesome. So whoever is watching, when we end the stream, you can just jump over to Twitch. It'll give me a minute to get over there because I have to switch my OBS settings. But I'll be over there in a minute after we end. So if you want to hang out more, you can come over there. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't think you need to understand fluid dynamics and chemistry. I think you need to understand your paint. Like, I barely know how to describe it to you. Obviously, I don't understand fluid dynamics or chemistry. I mean, I understand a little. I understand some, but all I know is based on my repetition of using the stuff. So I've used each of these colors hundreds of times, so I know what they do. And I mean, that's really all it takes. It's just getting used to your specific pigments. Wait, what is your link to Twitch? So funny. Okay. Well, this one, the good thing about this is knowing that it didn't completely spread and fill the entire paper. It did kind of down here, and I think that's because there was more water down here. So in the future I would have to be careful with that. But it could definitely work as the background to my painting. You ruined my troll. Just get good. I don't know which one my favorite is. I think this one might be my favorite because I'm thinking about it in terms of the painting that I want to do down the road. Which, by the way, let me show you guys. So, oh wait, no, I can't show you because it's a gift. It's going to be a gift for someone, and I don't know if they watch my streams or watch my videos. But it's a sunset sky. It's a loch, and there's a cabin on the side, or a bothy kind of thing. And there's a reflection of the mountains and the sky in the water next to it. So there's like sky and reflection is going to be super important in that painting. And I'm going to be practicing a lot before I do the final one. And it's big. It's like, I think it's 12 by 16, maybe 16 by 20. I can't remember. So I'll need to do a couple big practice sheets as well. This one also has potential because I sometimes enjoy those hard edges on the clouds, but I probably wouldn't use this exact color scheme. This one, so this is the one I just did when I let it like drip and flow and stuff. So this one also has potential, but maybe doing a different color palette or The problem is with this one is the purple and the yellow or orange got a little bit too muddy. I don't know if you guys can really see that as much as I can, but I can still see purple, but it's not bright. It's a little bit like neutralized by that complementary color, so it's not as dramatic. I could always come back in and do like another layer, I guess, but what else? Oh, and this is... Why did I do that one? I didn't do anything on top of that one yet. Confusing myself, obviously. Enjoyed the stream. You have lots of beautiful sunsets here that I can use what I've learned today. Awesome, Tony! Yes! That is a huge reason why I'm excited about this, because lately we've been having such gorgeous sunrises. Like they stop me in my tracks and I can't look away. They're amazing. And I don't really ever sit down and paint them. I just stare at them and I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful. I take photos too. These were the first couple that I did that I used a lot of dry brush on that one, which is kind of good for like that wispy cloud look. So I could maybe add a little bit of that as well. Don't stare at the sun. I'm not staring at the sun. I'm staring at the sunrise, like before the sun comes up over the horizon and blinds me. It's beautiful. There's amazing colors and the clouds are illuminated. Don't worry, I'm not staring at the sun. Jeez. For instance, here are some of the sunrises we've had. Like this one had the most insane, I don't know what these clouds are called, but they looked like silk. It was incredible. That one is the one I was just using. The cloud color was so cool. So great for inspiration. Also, if anyone missed it, on my Patreon this month, you can get the photo reference pack, which has, I think it's all sunsets and sunrises. So if you need some good reference for painting or drawing, but I'm assuming painting because of color, then you can go check out my Patreon. You get that plus lots of other stuff. So silk clouds. Yeah, that's what it looked like. Alright guys, since the stream is about to end, I'm not gonna like do another layer or wait for this to dry, so I think we're gonna call it here. So we're gonna jump over to Twitch in a couple minutes, so I hope I'll see you guys there. Otherwise, I will be back streaming on Twitch on Monday for 6 hours. It's the long stream, so if you guys want to hang out for a longer amount of time, you can join me over there. And then back here on Friday next week for the regular YouTube stream. And the paint along is on Saturday the 11th, so it'll be a Friday and a Saturday stream. So lots to keep track of, but I will try to schedule everything ahead of time like usual. If you follow me on YouTube, you'll hopefully get a notification. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I think it works. So yeah, thank you for joining me, everybody. Sorry it was kind of a weird, sketchy stream, but I thought it would be good to share some of the experiments that I like to do to learn and get better. And I will talk to you guys soon. So yeah, those of you who are joining me on Twitch, just grab that link in chat and I'll be there in just a minute.